Would you allow someone to test on your own pet to supposedly find a cure for a disease, or to find the effects of human products such as makeup, shampoo, lotions, anything like that? An estimated of 26 million animals are used every year in the U.S. for scientific and commercial testing. Animal tests do not reliably predict the results in human beings. So traditionally, animal testing is expensive, time-consuming, uses lots of animals, and from a scientific perspective, the results do not necessarily translate to humans. Have you ever had a family member, a friend, or even yourself been diagnosed with cancer? I can relate to that. You know, my grandma passed away many years ago of cancer, so I can understand that. I also know many people have been lucky to go through remission due to cancer treatments, such as, medicine and chemotherapy. And although I'm grateful for that, doesn't mean that it should be tested on animals. Now imagine if your family member, friend, or yourself was given cancer on purpose. It didn't just happen out of the blue. It was literally given to you by a scientist against your will. You can't stand up for yourself or protect yourself from scientists purposefully giving you a virtually incurable disease. Now I understand that the point is to find a cure, and that's probably what you're thinking. And you'd be right. That is the point. And that's great and all. But let me challenge you this. The history of cancer research has been a history of curing cancer in a mouse. We have cured mice of cancer for decades, and it simply did not work on humans. So why are we still allowing us to kill animals when it's obviously not working? So why mention the mouse? Well, scientists will test on just about any animal. Cats, dogs, fish, mice, chimpanzees. When trying to find cures for cancers and other diseases, scientists use animals that resemble DNA closest to humans. Mice share their DNA 98% close to us. And chimpanzees share 99% of their DNA, which is the closest to us. So even though scientists have cures on animals that share up to 99% DNA, like chimpanzees, with humans, they may be cured, but it's the animal that's been cured. The one that we've given cancer, not the one that has gotten cancer. Humans have not been cured from finding a cure for an animal like a chimpanzee or a mouse. Being that animals such as mice and chimpanzees are so close to humans means that they cannot consent means that they can consent to being tested, right? Obviously not. Mice can't speak. Chimpanzees can't speak. They can't tell you what they're feeling. They can't tell you right from wrong. They can't tell you yes or no. Animals are literally subjected to a life of pain, torture, and cruelty on a daily basis just so we can get what we want. And I'm not just talking about finding a cure for diseases. I'm talking about, what we use every day. Cleaning supplies. Again, makeup. Items like that. So even like the shampoo and the conditioner that you use every single morning to wash your hair, they have actually, they put like a mask on beagles to put shampoo on them, and it basically almost drowns them while they're doing it. So think about that the next time that you take a shower, because they're not asking for it. Animals aren't allowed to have feelings. They're not allowed to live a life that they want. When it comes to animal testing, that is. They're not allowed to live a happy life that they actually deserve. So, are any of these animals actually protected? My answer to that is going to be barely. The Animal Welfare Act, or AWA, was put into effect to supposedly regulate animal testing and to make sure that animals are not being mistreated. I have 2 words for this, and it's complete failure. 95% of animals that are tested are not protected by the AWA. This includes mice, fish, rats, birds. If it does not sound like many animals that go unprotected, get this: 25 million animals were not covered under the AWA Act last year. And only 120,000 were protected, again, last year, which is the 2016 fiscal year. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy for the 820,000 animals that were protected. But again, are they really being protected, or is it just kind of a smokescreen? They are supposed to be protected, but the Animal Welfare Act has not succeeded in preventing horrific cases of animal abuse in research. Chimpanzees have been found dead due to being dehydrated, due to hypoglycemia, suffocation, hypothermia, seizures. Mice have been found dead in sealed plastic baggies just left out on countertops. So ask yourself this: would you put your own pet through animal testing? That way you could have what you want and what you use on a daily basis. So if you were in their shoes, would you be okay with it? I wouldn't. So what can we do to prevent this? We know it's a problem. We know that there is something that we can do to prevent it, or at least try to prevent it. There are many different ways you can fight animal testing. I'm going to give you 7 different ways to do that. I actually got this list off of PETA. So I'm going to post that link on my post, so that way you guys can go directly to that. But the first step is to buy cruelty-free products. Many household products, like I've been mentioning, are tested on animals. And not only that, but it is common brands and products that test on them. So I'll also post this picture as well, but as you can see kind of right here, makeup brands such as Revlon, Tide, Clorox, Chapstick, Febreze, even Dove. These are lists of brands that, you see on a daily basis, every day that you go to the grocery store. So, second is really just educate people. I'm going to give you the list, but what brands test on animals, and it's not okay. So educate people about it. So in that being said, there are many different ways to do that. I also have a link on that PETA link. There is a 60-second video that will even tell you all about how to educate people on animal testing and everything that they do go through. In that video, it actually shows a bunny with basically a window into its stomach. So you can, yeah, that's a part of it. And then also 3 is help stop cosmetic testing in the United States. So letting decision makers know that you support the ban of testing cosmetics on animals is a great way to advocate for them. There are many petitions that you can sign. Again, on this link, I really like this link because there's a petition on there that you can actually go on and you can sign right through PETA's website. 4, always speak up about dissections. And for many of us, and in my college classes, you know, some of us, depending on what careers we're going to be going into, we're going to be doing classroom dissections. So something to kind of think about that. There are many animals that are bred just to die, just so that we can dissect them. And then after that, they're just thrown away. It's not like raising a pig for slaughter to eat. It's raising an animal to be cut up and thrown away. I would encourage speaking up against this. That way, you know, maybe we can use animals that have died of natural causes instead of, you know, using animals that have died for us. So, number 5, make donations to charities that you absolutely know work with animals and animals that have been tested on. Again, on this link, there is a list of charities that you can go to, you know, donate to them, whatever, you know, helps. Also, the list is to help you so that way you're not donating back to research, so that way that researchers are not using that money to test back onto animals. And that will also talk about that too on there for you. And then number 6 is kind of important. It's actually leave your body to science. I know that there are some people for religious reasons that may not, you know, want to do that, but I would encourage you to maybe think about something like that. You know, if we could donate our bodies to science instead of, you know, using somebody who's already living, an animal that's living, you know, we're not here to use our shell anymore. So let's put it to good use. And lastly, just continue to just talk about it. You know, again, and really this just goes back to educating people. Educate people about what animal testing really is. You know, just try your very hardest to not go out and buy cosmetics or household products that use animals for testing. If we continuously allow our society to use animals at their disposal, then millions of animals will die each and every year due to our own stupidity and selfishness. And that's just, I mean, that's what we are, honestly. You have a choice, and even if you cannot make the smallest change in your life to change another life, an innocent life, then that is something that you can live with for the rest of your life. Remember this, you are what you make it. I don't know about you, but this world is messed up as it is. So, you know, let's just try to help animals and, you know, remember that not everything is always about us and what we want. So again, roughly 26 million animals are used every single year in animal testing. Just keep that in mind. They all have feeling, but none have given consent to even being tested on. Even though these animals are considered protected, they are still tortured and killed every day. I don't know about you, but when someone does that to a pet or another human being, it's criminal. People go to jail for that. So why is this not criminal? Mind-blowing. What you need to do, and what I need to do, what we all need to do is take this extremely seriously for a change. And how do we do that? Stop buying products that are tested on animals. Donate your time or your money. It doesn't have to be just your money or money at all. It can be your time. And talk about it. I think some people don't want to have this save the world stigma about them, but it's okay. Tell people what's really going on. Let them see for themselves. Advocate for those that can't because they're locked in cages with God knows only what's going on to them, with chemicals being pumped into them on a daily basis. That's it. You can stop it. You hit the red square.